Well, today I've got the 2A, and this is actually a Suffix D box. Let's see, other side. Suffix D 2A box up on the operating bench here, also known as the back of my car. What it looks like I got to do, there's 4 big nuts back here. That'll get the bell housing off, and then it looks like 6, 7 bolts around the release mechanism. Looks like that there's a gator there. I don't have high hopes for saving that. I'll try, but I don't know. I'll pop this all out and I'll see how she goes. Alright, so I'm having a hell of a time with these 2 pins here. I don't know if you can see them well. There you go. One here and one there. I've got the split pins and the little washers that were under them off, but I just can't seem to get them to budge out of their holes. So they're in there pretty good. I'm trying everything, whacking them, soaking them with penetrating oil. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can split off the throwout mechanism from the rest of the bell housing and see if I can work some magic that way and let those pins sit and do their thing. Well, I still haven't gotten those pins out. Did pull off the clutch slave off there. I did get those all off, and this is loose on those pins, or studs. Broke all the big 4 nuts around there loose. And as bonus nachos, I actually took out the selector shafts with a little help from this little lever arm here. Popped right out, and yeah, that's proper nasty in there. It looks like there's cast numbers in the side there, down on the bottom. Yeah, I'm not expecting this transmission to ever work again. Who knows? I just hope that there's enough left on the input shaft that I can transfer it over, because I think I need that. Well, I still haven't gotten those pins out, but I have started separating the bell housing. Took the 4 big bolts out using a lever and a dead blow hammer, just kind of walking it off nice and gentle wise. Whatever comes out, and hopefully I can work from there. I also took the cover off the transfer case, and there is a little bit of rust down in there, but overall it's in decent shape. And actually I can, well, I could shift it in and out. Not now, but I guess something's moved with all the whacking. But I could actually shift the transfer case, so hopefully transfer is salvageable, but I don't think the main box is ever going to live again. Well, I did finally get one of those pins out. The other one's still in there. This is being quite the fight that wasn't expecting. So I moved on to other things. You know, I've got the cover off, got the selectors out. I actually just popped out the rear cover and spun off the rear main nut. That's this thing here. One of those annoying shaped castellated nuts. And gonna pull out that. Is this one in neutral? Oh, yeah. Can almost get it out. Might be able to persuade it. A little leverage. You know, focus. There we go. There's a shim there. And there's the rear main gear. There's a bit of corrosion on there, but it doesn't look like it's pitted. So that might still be usable. You can see the splines for a PTO on there. So I don't know if this will want to do anything or whatever. It's just so loose. There's some bolts that are supposed to be tight but aren't. And I'm going to keep working on this and update you as I go farther. Well, I finally got those pins out. God, that was a bear. Smashed my thumb pretty good too. My recommendation, if you're ever going to do that, just get the biggest hammer you got to start out with. Yeah, it didn't want to go. Now I got to undo those 4 bolts I put back in on the release mechanism. Focus. Come on, focus. There. Okay. Got to take those 4 bolts out now, and hopefully this whole thing will slide apart and show me a thing. Interestingly, with my hammering, this pulled out even further, so I don't know if you could take it out without it, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. Alright, got the bolts out. Moment of truth here. Well, bearing looks good. And that could use with being cleaned up. But that looks like that's not really much rust from this. Bearing looks and feels good. Looks like that bearing too would be good. Alright, so I got to take that nut off down there. That bearing's probably hosed. But I don't need the lay shaft bearing, so I need to get the main bearing out, or get the main shaft out. Well, I took the nut off that, started punching it through, and as I'm trying to yank this all out, well, the whole assembly started coming out, so I don't know exactly what was that. Ooh, look at that chunky rust. That's Titanic there. Well, there's that. That is, well. Oh, geez. That rear bearing's hosed. There's all sorts of grinding media down in the bottom there. I don't think I did that, though. Maybe I did. Don't know. Yeah, might have done that. That could be the problem. I don't know. Reverse idler. That bearing looks decent too. That doesn't look like it got wrecked. Alright, well, I'm not sure what to do with this now, but yeah. I'm going to take a look at this. Focus. I'm going to have a look-see at this, see what's what, and then bring you back as I figure out what's going on here. Well, I've got the main shaft out of the input shaft, and I've got it here. I don't know how well that gear is going to clean up. I've got evapor rust. I'm probably going to stick this in. I don't have any way to undo that nut, so I really hope this cleans up well. Seems to run fairly smoothly. Maybe that bearing will need replacing after all. I just hosed some PB Blaster in there, so. That would have spun much longer, but yeah, got that off. I'm gonna sticker in some whatchamacallit, Vapo rust, and hope for the best. I mean, does this come apart any further? It might. Does this ring come off? Don't know. Alright, well, I'll bring you back later when things have developed. So what I've got going on here in that black tray, I've got a bit of evapor rust, filled it right up to the top. What I'm going to go ahead and do is sit this down up in the tray. It's going to, you know, probably overflow a wee bit, but that's no matter. It's non-toxic, so it'll be fine. Going down the drain. Ooh. Crunchy. And then I'm going to sit this in there so that it's actually sitting on the tray here. And because it's filled up to the edge, well, this whole thing will be submerged, hopefully. we'll see how it comes out in a day or so. Alright, well, it's in there. There we go. Just going to let that sit and soak. Well, I was looking at the inside of this in here, and I realized that, well, that's nice and pitted in there. That's actually where a bearing runs for the main shaft. I forgot about that part. So I'm just going to give up on this thing right now. Go ahead and try and source a new main shaft. This is for a Suffix D gearbox, and it's the correct one to mesh with the Series 3, so I'll need to source another one of those.